Hey, let's dig into something we almost never talk about when it comes to sleep: our social rhythms. We spend so much time fine-tuning light exposure, diet, exercise, and winding down rituals that we forget our social calendar itself is one of the strongest clocks telling our body when to be alert and when to rest. Every dinner with friends, every late-night text, every after-work video call is a cue our brain latches onto. Stay awake, engage, respond. And if those cues pour in during your wind-down hours, they hijack your parasympathetic shift toward rest, leaving you wired and tossing and turning. But here's the good news. You can learn to synchronize your social life with your sleep needs so that every interaction boosts your energy when you need it and clears the runway for rest when you don't. In this first part, we'll explore how to spot the social zeitgebers, those timing cues, sculpt them to support your internal clock, and communicate boundaries that preserve your evenings without isolating you. You'll hear exactly how to reschedule that habitual 8 p.m. group chat to 6 p.m. so you're basking in connection under daylight instead of blue light glow. How to automate a polite off-social auto-reply that reminds colleagues you're in wind-down mode. How to lean into group activities like morning walks or weekend brunches as community anchors for your circadian rhythm. And how to avoid the trap of social jet lag when weekend late nights leave you dragging come Monday. By the end of this section, you'll have a clear blueprint for aligning your social calendar with the biology of sleep, transforming every handshake and every "how are you" into supporting notes of the same melody rather than disruptive spikes. Let's get started. First, let's map your current social schedule. Over the next 2 days, casually note every social cue that pulls on your attention: texts, calls, invitations, recurring meetups. Don't judge, just observe. Is there a standing friends unwinding Slack thread at 9 p.m.? A nightly family WhatsApp where everyone chimes in until 10? A weekly late evening book club or trivia night? Write these down with their times. Then, right next to each, jot how each makes you feel later that night. Is your mind racing at bedtime? Do you have to replay the conversation over and over? Does your heart pick up pace? This simple inventory reveals the patterns that most conflict with your desired wind-down window. You'll see exactly which social rituals need adjusting. Next, pick one pattern to shift first. Start small. Suppose you notice that every evening at 8:15, your work team sends a flurry of status update pings. You want your digital curfew at 8. So this week, send a friendly group message. Hey team, I'll be off Slack after 8 p.m. to prep for tomorrow. If anything urgent comes up, please send me an email or mark it urgent. I'll catch it first thing. By reframing your availability, you preserve your boundary while still staying reliable. Colleagues learn to respect that window, and your evenings become yours again. Similarly, if you have family or friends who love late-night calls, suggest an earlier slot. I'd love to chat more while I'm fresh. How about we move our catch-up from 9 to 6 p.m.? That way, I'm fully present and not nodding off mid-story. Most people appreciate the candor and the chance to talk when you're actually at your best, and you'll find your conversations feel richer and your evenings quieter. Beyond moving existing rituals, you can create new social anchors that support your sleep. Invite a friend on a Saturday morning walk instead of a late brunch. Schedule a weekly sunset stroll at 6 p.m. with neighbors rather than a wine night at 9. Host a monthly potluck dinner that starts at 5:30 p.m. So by the time dishes are cleared, you've still got 2 hours to wind down without the glow of screens. These daylight-anchored gatherings flood your system with fresh air and natural light, strengthening your circadian signals so your brain knows when to be alert and when to dim. Texts and messaging deserve their own rules too. Set your messaging apps to mute after your chosen cutoff, say 8 p.m., and enable an auto-reply. I value our convo, but switch off at 8 p.m. for rest. We'll reply tomorrow. That automated note is both polite and firm, reminding others that your well-being includes downtime, and it frees you from the pressure to respond in the small hours. Then there's the tricky zone of weekend social jet lag. Those late Friday and Saturday nights when you stay up to 1 a.m. or later. Monday morning comes with a cranky brain and fuzzy edges. The antidote isn't to quit social life, it's to anchor a reliable weekend wake-up. Plan a consistent Saturday and Sunday morning activity. An 8 a.m. park meetup, a 9 a.m. yoga class, or a 10 a.m. walk with a friend, and stick to it even if you arrive a bit bleary. That morning commitment anchors your rhythm so you don't slide into a wildly different weekend schedule, and it cushions the blow of late-night fun. Throughout all of this, communication is your greatest tool. Be honest and collaborative. I really enjoy our chats, and I also need time to recharge. Let's experiment with an earlier slot. People appreciate candor, and when they understand your why, better presence, better sleep, they'll often be more than happy to adjust. If they don't, you can politely decline late invites. I'm on a sleep mission right now, so I'll catch you next time. Boundaries create respect, not conflict, when conveyed with warmth. By mapping your social triggers, shifting one pattern at a time, introducing new daylight-friendly rituals, muting late-night messaging, anchoring weekend mornings, and leaning on honest communication, you harmonize your social life with your biology. You'll find your evenings feel quieter, your sleep deeper, and your social connections more vibrant, because you're connecting when you're fully there, not when you're half asleep. In the next part, we'll unpack specific scripts and sample weekly social sleep calendars you can adapt for your own circle. But for now, notice how your social rhythms influence your sleep, and start reshaping them with intention. Your inner clock will thank you. All right, so you've mapped out your current social cues and shifted at least one late-night ritual into an earlier, more sleep-friendly slot. Now let's dive deeper into weaving social alignment into the fabric of your everyday life, so that your relationships actually anchor your circadian rhythm instead of derailing it. First, think of your social network. Family, friends, coworkers, community groups, not as distractions that compete with your sleep, but as powerful zeitgebers, biological time givers that help synchronize your internal clock when harnessed thoughtfully. For example, if you normally text with a group of friends late at night, invite them to join you in a golden hour chat around sunset instead. Suggest a quick, "How's your day?" video call right after work between 6 and 7 so you kick off the wind down with genuine connection rather than crushing into it at 10. Over time, those earlier social rituals become your brain's signal that day mode is ending and rest mode is nigh. Next, let's look at work rhythms. If you're part of a team that habitually pings each other at odd hours, propose a quiet hours policy, perhaps channel by channel or person by person, where notifications are silenced after your collective cutoff. You might say, let's try pausing email and Slack after 7 p.m. and commit to checking in again at 8 a.m. That way our evenings are protected and will start fresh in the morning. Frame it as an experiment to boost everyone's productivity and well-being. When your colleagues buy in, you transform your entire work culture into one that respects natural rest rhythms, and you'll notice that your evenings feel more peaceful and your nights more restorative. Outside of structured work and friend groups, consider the power of shared routines. Invite neighbors or family members to join you in a weekly social stroll at a fixed early evening time. Frame it as a brief 30-minute catch-up walk. No phones, just conversation under daylight or early dusk. So you're physically moving and nurturing friendships in a way that reinforces your circadian cues. Or organize a twice-monthly sunset circle, where you gather in someone's backyard or a local park just as the sun dips, share gratitude highlights from the week, and watch the sky together. These light-anchored gatherings flood your system with natural cues that it's time to unwind and foster a sense of community that fills your social needs without stretching into the late hours. Family life deserves special attention too. If your household dynamics involve children's bedtimes or elder care that keeps you up late, negotiate a shared power-down window. For instance, set a nightly ritual where screens go off at 8 p.m., lights in common areas dim, and household members engage in calm activities, reading, puzzles, light conversation, until each person's personal lights-out time. Reinforce this boundary gently by explaining the benefits for everyone's mood and health. When the whole home shifts into quiet time mode together, you gain both environmental support and collective accountability. Another often overlooked vector is weekend social jet lag. Late Saturday brunch, late-night movies, spontaneous gatherings. These can nudge your body into a different rhythm that makes Monday mornings brutal. Combat this by scheduling a weekend morning meetup at a consistent early hour. Maybe a Sunday 9 a.m. coffee and walk. Even if you've stayed out late, commit to showing up, even 5 minutes late. That social commitment snaps your internal clock back toward your weekday schedule. Over months, your brain stops seeing weekends as free rein and starts treating them as a continuous extension of your normal rhythm, smoothing out the jagged edges of social jet lag. Now let's tackle the digital social sphere. Group texts and social media can be relentless creep hours into your evening if left unchecked. Use app-level controls to mute group threads after your cutoff time and activate auto-replies that say, "I'm off social after 8 p.m. For rest, we'll catch up tomorrow." Then honor that reply by putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, or even better, placing it in another room. This separation not only shields you from pings, but also subtly trains your friends that you're serious about your wind down. They'll come to expect your responses in the morning, not at midnight. Finally, recognize that social alignment isn't a one-time fix, but an ongoing conversation. Share your sleep-supporting social goals with those closest to you, partners, roommates, best friends, so they understand your why and can support or even join you. Check in every few weeks. How's our evening chill-out going? Any tweaks we need? This collaborative approach keeps your social network attuned to your needs and ensures that your relationships evolve alongside your sleep goals. By transforming your late-night pings into golden-hour gatherings, negotiating work silence after hours, co-creating household quiet time, anchoring weekends with early morning rituals, muting digital threads, and keeping the dialogue open, you align your social rhythms with your biological clock. The result is a harmonious interplay where your connections fuel your energy when you need it and gently release you into rest when it's time to sleep. That synergy between social life and sleep biology is the secret to nights that feel restorative and days that feel vibrant. In the next section, we'll dive into practical scripts and templates for those boundary-setting conversations and share sample weekly social sleep schedules you can customize for your own circle. For now, take stock of one social pattern to shift this week. Maybe an 8 p.m. chat becomes 6 p.m. And notice how that single change ripples through your evening calm and your night's rest. All right, now that you've set up your social sleep calendar, installed post-social wind-down cues, layered in environmental signals, synced morning meetups, and built-in makeup connections, let's talk about embedding the system into your daily life so it hums along even when you're not thinking about it. The goal is to move from conscious effort to unconscious flow, to let your social world and your sleep needs dance together naturally. First, automate what you can. Use your calendar's repeating events for those daylight connection windows and quiet time blocks so they appear on everyone's shared schedule automatically. If you're part of a family Google Calendar or a team Trello board, pin those events at the top. Enable gentle reminders, nothing jarring, just a soft tone, 5 minutes before each block starts. When your phone buzzes at 5:55 p.m., you know it's almost time to wrap up work and reach for your walking shoes or dial into your video chat. When it buzzes again at 7:55 p.m., you dim the lights and switch devices to Do Not Disturb. Over weeks, those gentle reminders fade into muscle memory, and you cease to need conscious prompts. Second, practice if-then mini-commitments to handle unplanned social invitations. For example, if I receive a late evening text asking for help or a chat, then I'll reply, "I'd love to help. Let's catch up tomorrow at 6. Or, if a last-minute call invitation pops up during my quiet time, then I'll send a voice memo instead of joining live. Those if-then rules turn potential boundary breaches into scripted responses, preserving your wind down without guilt. Third, lean into social proof by celebrating adherence together. Create a simple group chat channel, call it Sleep Sync, where each member posts a one-word status at the end of your daylight connection window, connected, and another at the start of quiet time, resting. That real-time acknowledgement reinforces the habit, builds camaraderie, and surfaces any missed cues so you can gently remind each other. Because when your social circle honors the rhythm, it becomes harder to break it. Fourth, use periodic social sleep audits. Every month, take 10 minutes to review your calendar and group chat logs. Notice if daylight connections fell off or quiet time auto-replies dampened out. Identify one tweaking point. Maybe you need to adjust your connection window by 15 minutes to accommodate a new colleague's schedule, or refine your auto-reply message to sound less robotic. Small adjustments keep the system fresh and responsive to life's changes. Fifth, harness the power of cultural rituals. Link your social sleep strategy to existing traditions. Sunday potlucks, Friday happy hours, end-of-month team huddles. Shift those traditions into sleep-friendly slots. For example, move your department's Friday wind-down drinks from 9 p.m. to 6:30, or transform a family movie night into an early evening board game session, followed by hot chocolate and lights-out stories. By folding your plan into the rituals you already love, you eliminate resistance and create joyful anticipation for connection that won't compromise your rest. Finally, cultivate ongoing flexibility and compassion. There will be seasons, holidays, product launches, milestone celebrations, when your rhythms stretch and bend. Anticipate these by temporarily adjusting your social sleep calendar in advance. If you know December holidays push dinners to 8:30, plan a morning recovery walk on Boxing Day at 9 a.m. so your clock stays on track. If a work sprint demands late collaboration, schedule a 10-minute breath break at the next daylight window to diffuse built-up tension. Treat these as planned deviations, not slip-ups, and return to your regular pattern as soon as the event passes. By automating reminders, scripting if-then boundary responses, celebrating in community, auditing regularly, integrating with beloved traditions, and allowing compassionate flexibility, you transform social rhythm alignment from a project into a flowing lifestyle. Your social world stops fighting your sleep goals and starts propelling them, so you wake rested, connect fully, wind down smoothly, and cycle back into rest with ease. That, my friend, is the art of aligning social rhythms for better sleep, where every laugh, every chat, and every shared sunrise becomes a note in the harmonious symphony of your days and nights. And now, let's pull this all together into a long-term social sleep strategy that flexes with the changing seasons of your life, while guaranteeing that your relationships consistently support, rather than sabotage, your rest. Think of it as building a resilient ecosystem where your social world and biological clock flourish together. First, embrace seasonal social tuning. In summer, days stretch long and people crave late evening gatherings, so lean into daytime socializing. Plan alfresco brunches or evening park picnics that wrap up around sunset. In winter, when darkness falls early and social energy wanes, lean into cozy early evening rituals, hot chocolate chats by candlelight at 5:30 p.m., or monthly winter walk and talk brunches. By adapting when and how you connect in alignment with the sun's cycle, you reinforce natural circadian signals for both activity and rest. Next, treat life changes, job shifts, moves, kids growing up, as opportunities to recalibrate your social sleep template. When you begin a new role with odd hours, revisit your daylight connection window. Maybe that moves from 6 p.m. to 4 p.m., so you still catch friends before your wind down. If you move in with roommates who keep late schedules, co-create a shared quiet hours covenant and revisit it every few months. When children join the household, co-design a family social calendar with early bedtimes built into shared dinners or story times. These deliberate recalibrations prevent drift and keep your rhythm finely tuned through every life stage. Third, weave in micro-celebrations of alignment to keep motivation high. Whenever your group successfully shifts a weekly event into your daylight window, send a celebratory emoji or quick voice note. Loved our Thursday coffee chat at 5, perfect for my sleep rhythm. That burst of positive feedback strengthens the new habit for everyone and reminds you why you made the change. More energy, deeper rest, richer connection. Fourth, maintain flex check conversations quarterly. Pick a recurring date, perhaps the first Sunday of each season, to gather your core social circle, virtually or in person, and ask two simple questions. What's working for our social sleep balance? What needs tweaking? Use those insights to update your shared calendar, adjust cue signals, and innovate new group rituals that align with emerging needs or constraints. This ongoing dialogue keeps your ecosystem responsive and co-owned. Fifth, leverage technology for gentle nudges rather than relentless pings. Set up a group reminder 30 minutes before your designated social acceptable window ends. Maybe a soft chime in your chat app reading, "Time to wind down for rest." At the same time, automate sunrise reminders to your morning meeting group. A sunrise GIF at 7 a.m. that says, "Good morning, ready for our walk?" These synchronized nudges keep everyone in sync without manual prompts. Sixth, cultivate self-compassion when the system stutters. Social obligations will sometimes spill into your rest window. Last-minute dinner invitations, an unresolved work crisis, a friend in need. So give yourself permission to say yes when it truly matters, and then recommit to recalibrating immediately afterward. Maybe that means scheduling a 2-hour morning self-care mini-retreat, or asking your group to honor an extra early brunch the next day. By forgiving yourself and bouncing back proactively, you reinforce that your social sleep ecosystem is designed to support real life, not rigid perfection. Seventh, track community outcomes. Every quarter, note how your sleep quality metrics, time to fall asleep, number of nighttime awakenings, morning energy levels, correlate with your social sleep calendar adherence. If weeks with consistently honored quiet hours yield deeper sleep, share that data with your circle. Look, when we stick to our 8 p.m. cutoff, I fall asleep 20 minutes faster and wake up feeling great. Data-driven insights motivate everyone to keep the system humming. Finally, celebrate the journey. Host an annual sleep and social harmony potluck in early autumn, a gathering that kicks off at golden hour and concludes well before dark, where you reflect on the year's wins, share stories of deeper rest, and renew your collective commitment for the next cycle. That ritual closes the loop on a year of alignment and energizes you for the next. By tuning seasonally, adapting through life stages, celebrating micro wins, convening regular flex checks, using tech nudges, practicing self-compassion, tracking outcomes, and hosting annual community rituals, you transform social interactions into a sustainable bedrock for sleep. Your friends, family, and colleagues become partners in your well-being, and your evenings evolve into peaceful preludes to restorative nights. With this holistic, evolving approach, you'll discover that aligning social rhythms is not just a tool for better sleep, it's a pathway to deeper connection, vitality, and joy every day and night.